close out here with my Survivor Series predictions coming up for Saturday. Only a 4-match card. They will not be adding a 5th match. I know we're getting a Survivor Series Elimination Tag Team match on Friday's SmackDown. I'm not really upset that it's not on the show itself. It doesn't really feel pay-per-view worthy. It would be nice if it was on the show, but I don't think they would do 2 WarGames matches and then also a 10-man Elimination Tag Team match. So I'm fine with it getting some spotlight on SmackDown on Friday, but I would prefer if they just brought back that match to the event itself and not relegated it to SmackDown instead of always relying on WarGames to draw people to be interested in this show. Survivor Series has struggled for years as far as being the least important of the 4 big pay-per-views, and they feel like they need a gimmick, whether it be the Survivor Series elimination matches, which I personally prefer, or WarGames, or Raw versus SmackDown, which was a stupid fucking concept from the get-go. Aside from maybe the first year in 2016, beyond that, it was a dumb concept. I still think the build for this show has been okay, and I still think the show could exceed expectations and be very good. But I'm just still not a fan of the over-reliance on the WarGames gimmick. And I talked more about it on Tuesday's hashtag AskGSM, so I won't go on the same rant again. I just kind of feel like they could do a better job of making it feel more special and making these matches at least make sense. Justify why these matches are happening in WarGames. I could see the case for the last few ones with the Judgment Day and the Bloodline. With this one, Rollins got hurt. You got fucking Cody Rhodes in there randomly. Brock Lesnar at least has the Paul Heyman connection, but he hasn't been in a tag team match in decades. Logan Paul being in there is fucking random. I like the star power in the match, but it doesn't change the fact that doing the match at all is very random. But here's my quick picks for the show. Stephanie Vaquera and Nikki Bella for the Women's World Championship. I could see a scenario where Nikki Bella walks out new champion. I mean, they really rushed into this match. I know they couldn't save the match for Saturday night's main event, just because I think that show is going to obviously be John Cena's last match, but then also a series of NXT exhibition matches. So it doesn't look like this would even be on that show, which is why they rushed to put it on this card. And it could be a fine match. There's really nothing about the feud currently that is overly exciting or interesting, but I think Stephanie could bring Nikki Bella to a good match. I could see a non-finish to keep the feud alive. I don't think this is it. I do think it'll continue past this point. I just don't need to see Nikki Bella as the Women's World Champion. I don't really think there is a need for that. I think they could keep the title on Stephanie for a lot longer, hopefully until WrestleMania. Yeah, they could take the title off of her and then have her win it back from Nikki at some point in the near future. I think that could work. I would just keep the belt on Stephanie. I think Nikki and her role. I've actually not had an issue with the booking of Nikki Bella at all. Yeah, having her lose a bunch of matches and then immediately challenge for the championship is kind of silly without having her win a number 1 contenders match or win any matches to earn the opportunity. But whatever, it's a match that keeps Stephanie busy, gives her a notable name to be. If she does win, like I said, I could see Nikki Bella maybe sneaking out the victory. Maybe Brie Bella returns, and that's where Brie Bella comes back and helps Nikki win the title. I'm not sure. We'll find out soon. I do think Stephanie goes over and retains the championship. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Nikki winning the belt, her first title win in, 10 years? I don't know if I necessarily need to see that, but as long as if Nikki wins it, she doesn't hold it for long and Stephanie gets the belt back soon after, I'd be okay with it, but I would still prefer a Stephanie win and successful retention of the championship here. John Cena, Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title. Their first match, honestly, from an in-ring standpoint, just in being there myself, was not anything special. And I said this a few weeks ago, I'm actually not a fan of them running it back because it just kind of feels like a waste of one of John Cena's final matches. They already did the match once. They could have had Dominic Mysterio beat him the first time or not do it the first time and have Dominic Mysterio face him here and beat Cena. I don't think Cena needed to win the Intercontinental Championship. If they wanted to do the match on this show, Dominic could have very easily just retained against Cena on the show and had that been it. But they wanted to give the belt to Cena in Boston. Okay, whatever. The match should be okay. Dominic's got to get the belt back. You do not do this match unless Dominic is getting the belt back. There is a chance Cena could win because there have been rumblings for a while now that Cena was expected to walk into his final match at Saturday night's main event as the Intercontinental Champion. I would not do that personally, especially if he's going to face Gunther in his final match. Gunther does not need the Intercontinental Championship. I would not do that. I think that'd be stupid. Dominic should get the title back here. It obviously will not be clean. Will it be with an assist from the rest of the Judgment Day, who he hasn't been on great terms with recently? Or could it be an assist from Liv Morgan, who could be making her return, which would be nice to see. I haven't heard she's due back anytime soon. The last thing I heard was that she could be back around the Royal Rumble time, which would be great. But if she's back on Saturday helping Dominic get the belt back, that would be great too. So I got Dominic getting the belt back on this show. Women's War Games is Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee, taking on Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and Becky Lynch. AJ and Becky joining their respective teams within the last week on WWE TV. I think this could be a good Women's War Games match. My biggest issue with Women's War Games in the last few years is that they've over-relied on the weapons and the garbage and the plunder and all that other sort of shit to the point where the matches just are a bunch of fucking hardcore spots and really no storytelling, and it's a lot of, a lot of botched spots in last year's match, but just a lot of sloppy spots and random shit that doesn't make sense, and it's just, garbage for the sake of garbage. So hopefully not in this match, and we can get, some more storytelling and whatever. I do think it'll be good. The baby faces stood tall on Monday, which makes me think we could have the heels going over here. This is tough. I'm going to say I don't think the heels go over in both matches. So I'll say the babyface team wins here, but the heels win in the main event. So that's my prediction for both matches, I guess. The men's match is, just to be clear, the Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and I guess Logan Paul, who I guess is an official member of the Vision now. Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar taking on CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. I think the heel team really needs to win that match to set up Logan Paul as CM Punk's next challenger for the championship. McIntyre needs to fucking win something. Brock doesn't need to win shit, but I don't know. I just think Breaker and Reed, with all the momentum that they have after taking out Rollins, or whatever momentum they have left, really, after they took out Rollins and Reed beat Roman back at Crown Jewel last month, they should win. Cody Rhodes, Punk, the Usos, Roman have nothing to fucking gain from winning this match. Legitimately nothing, especially when you have two of the top world champions involved in the same match. There's just no reason to have them win here. They could win and it would be a nice visual, but we've also had the babyfaces go over in men's war games for the last 2 years. I think the heels could afford a win here to kind of further the story and give them something to kind of feed off of and go after the top 2 titles on Raw and SmackDown and whatever. I feel like that would make sense. So even though storyline-wise the match itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense with who they have involved and some of the stories they're telling here, I am looking forward to it from a star power standpoint to have so many former world champions in one match, a lot of people that haven't interacted in a long time, like Punk and Lesnar, for example, and all that other sort of stuff. A lot of intertwining stories and feuds and bad blood, chemistry. It should be a spectacle for that alone. And obviously, I'm sure that's going to be an event, close out the show, but I have Team Vision going over, the heels going over there, and the baby faces going over in women's war games, like I mentioned earlier.